All right, pre-calc. We are on video 2 of the quiz review day 2. So I just want to go through as many things as possible so you feel comfortable with all the material in chapter 10. So it's another sum. Surprise, surprise. First thing we're going to do is look at this formula here, and that is a linear equation. So I do know this is arithmetic. But unlike one of the previous problems, it's not starting at 1. So we have just a little extra work to do. So the very first thing that we're going to do, and this goes back to your 10-2 day 1 notes, the actual number of terms here is the high minus the low plus 1. So we can figure out that there are actually 20 numbers in this series. And then I need to find the first term, which is going to start when n equals 11. So 2 times 11 plus 1 gives us 23. Shout out to Michael Jordan. And then our 20th term, which is the last term, happens when n equals 30. So 2 times 30 plus 1 equals 61. So now we are set to find the sum of those 20 terms. So 20 divided by 2. The first term was 23. The last term was 61. Grab that calculator. 840 is the sum. Cool. Number 6, another sum. The very first thing that we'll do is look at this formula, and that is geometric because it's exponential, so it's a geometric. And the next thing you're going to notice is it is infinite. Now, before I spend a bunch of time to actually try to get an answer, I have to look at this ratio. It has to be between -1 and +1, otherwise there will not be a sum. But this one is going to have a sum, so let me write the generic rule, and then we will go and attack it and see what happens. So first term over 1 minus r. So actually, you know what, we'll stay pink, that's fine. First term over 1 minus r. This one's actually nice enough where you could do it with no calculator. I guess, well, let's see what happens. 24 divided by 3/4 is the same thing as 24 times 4/3. And so sometimes these work out crazy, but sometimes they work out super clean. So 32, perfect. That's fantastic. All right. Number 7, there's 2 ways to do this one. I might highlight both of them. Ooh, that's going to help for number 8 too. Man, these are such good problems. You guys are so lucky to have such a loving teacher who wants to give you the best problem sets imaginable. All right, so option 1, if you know it's arithmetic, you know it's linear, and the d is the slope. But remember, that only works with arithmetic. Year after year, I have people doing that in every single problem, and that's just illegal, so don't do that. So option 1 right here is that we can find the d value is the difference in the terms themselves over the difference in the term numbers. So that turns into 272 over 4. Might want your calculator for that. So that difference is 68. But there's another nice strategy that you can use for this one. It'll take just a little more time to set up. But let's just say that I had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to save time, I'll just write a couple of those down there. So I know that he's 192 and he's 464. So here's another way to approach this problem is plus d, plus d, plus d, and guess what? Plus d again. So I'm at 192. I add my constant difference 4 times, and it brings me to this term right there. And so let's see what that is. And this one, I have my calculators put away. So bear with me here as fast as possible. I think I know what it's going to be. I think it's going to be 272. But let's just make sure. I don't want to lie to you. Not today. There's too much going on in the world. And so, believe it or not, we're going to get the same answer. Math is beautiful, just like all of you. So 2 different strategies there. They're both awesome. Now, when it's geometric, there is no such thing as slope because it's exponential curves. So there's a long way and a short way. I'm going to do it the same way we did that previous one. So let's see. Second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. So I'm just going to call this a sub 2. I'm going to call this a sub 5. And so if we go, that term is 5, and that term is 135. You can ask yourself how you're getting from one term to the next. And because it's geometric, that's times r, and times r. So we have the number 5. We're going to go times r 3 times and bring it to 135. So divide both sides by 5, and r cubed is 27. And this one you won't even need a calculator for. R equals 3. Occasionally you do get a plus or minus if it was like an r squared or an r to the 4th, but this one only has one possible answer. There is another way to attack this one. If you could go straight to the formula, you could go straight to saying the nth term is the first term times r to the n minus 1. So we did that on a different problem on a different page, different day, and but that would be, this is the term. Oh, you know what? Never mind, because guess what? We don't know the first term. So even though that worked on a different problem, it's not going to work here. So sometimes you don't have as many options as you'd like. So that's why we're practicing as many problems as possible. All right, let's pause there, and then we'll finish strong on the next page. Adios.